of the morning to you, wherever you're watching us from. You're welcome to Dominion Television, your channel of choice. This is Dominion Sports, and this wonderful morning, we're going to be taking you on the journey into the world of sport from the local front. We'll be looking at the MPFL fixtures and also the game to look forward to today. Definitely, we'll be talking about the top three races. We're talking Rangers, we're talking Rivers, we're talking Ikorodu City, putting themselves in the front of things ahead of the MPFL final showdown. Also, we'll be discussing more from we're talking about the Premier League. We'll be looking at the rundown, the run-in, and also the relegation battle. West Ham, Tottenham, Burnley, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Nottingham Forest, Leeds United. Also, 24 days, Manchester United did not play football, and they had to lose that game at the Old Trafford. 2-1. We're talking against Leeds United. Also, we'll be talking about the UEFA Champions League second leg tie today. More stories coming through from the world of tennis and other sport across the world. I am Paul Abe Toluwanimi, and I'm not alone in the studio this wonderful morning. I have Nuruddin Alimi joining me in the studio to talk sports right here on the go. Nuruddin, top of the morning to you. What are your expectations for the games to look forward to in the UEFA Champions League, and what do you have for us on the menu?
Good morning, Toluwanimi. Good morning, viewers. It's nice to be back here again. My expectations from tonight, I expect two things to go through. First leg from both matches, two teams are 2-0 down, and Liverpool are hosting PSG tonight, and Atletico Madrid will be hosting Barcelona at the Wanda Metropolitano this evening. So it's going to be an exciting bout. Both teams are not guaranteed qualification yet, and the other teams are not also not condemned for defeat yet. So it's going to be an exciting one. Loads of fireworks to expect from that. There's tennis to talk about. There's MPFL, what happened over the weekend, teams that gained, teams that lost, and all the stories and all of that are yet to dissect that this morning. All right,
beautiful. All of that and more on the show this wonderful morning. Let's take a dive straight into the MPFL match day 34 result. Right there, the game opened up with Bendel Insurance welcoming Abia Warriors, and that game ended 1-0 in favor of Bendel Insurance. There you have it on the screen. Shooting Stars against Kwara United ended goalless. Right there, Barao against Remo Stars, 2-1. Niger Tornadoes against Rangers International, the game ended goalless. Eyimba against Katsina United, the game ended 3-0 in favor of Eyimba Football Club of Aba. We have Bayelsa United against Wiki Tourist away from home. Wiki Tourist are picking up the victory, 1-0, all 3 points for the away side. Good one for the relegation fighters this season. Ikorodu City against Kano Pillars, the game ended 3-0 in favor of Ikorodu City. And that has opened up the title race yet again between Ikorodu, Rivers, and Rangers International. Rivers United picked up a victory against Plateau United, 1-0. Let me inform you that Kun Khalifat, safe fighting relegation, picked up the victory against Warriors. Quickly, let's start off with Kun Khalifat and Wiki Torres, because I was following up that game over the weekend, and you know, a victory at that point for Kun Khalifat already picked them above Wiki Tourist. And a few minutes, I'm like, okay, Wiki Tourist has picked up the victory away from home and dropped Kun Khalifat back, to the pedal and relegation, still fighting that battle. For you, what's it looking like? Wiki Tourist, you look at Kun Khalifat, we look at other teams, Kano Pillars, Eyimba, in the midst of things. How do you see the battle to the end of the season?
It's going to be an exciting one, very interesting. A goal could mar or make your season, so it's so important. All teams are trying to get teams, and for Wiki Tourist, that was a very important win for them away from home. Good for their fans, and still puts them in the relegation battle, but I still see them dropping. But it was just good to see a team battling relegation win away from home. So Kun Khalifat, they are condemned for me, but it's just the mathematics that is still delaying their confirmation going down the league. There are 4 games to go now. They are on 39 points, lowest points in the league, and that's to show you how difficult it is to play in the MPFL.
And I'm sorry to cut you. You look at where, if you can have the table quickly. Thank you, my producer. If you can have the table, you look at where Kano Pillars are 15 with 42 points. You look at Kwara United also right there on 16 with 40 points. You look at Bayelsa United after that loss on 40 points, 17. You look at Wiki Tourist, on 18 with 40 points. You look at Remo Stars also on 19 with 40 points. And you look at Kun Khalifa, 20th with just 1 point different from 4 of those teams were there. And a Bayelsa United that was not in the fight for relegation has dropped down for relegation fight right now.
That's why you have to pick up points when you have to. They lost their game over the weekend, and that shows you that this is not time to play. Even if you check up, even ahead on the log, 7th position, Bendel Insurance are on 49 points. That's just 9 points. That's 3 games from the relegation zone.
Yeah.
If any of those teams can manage to pick up a consistent run of form over the next couple of maybe win, just say pick 3 points or 6 points out of possible 9. It's going to try, and Bendel Insurance failed to win in that period. There are chances they can slip
down into the relegation fight.
So it's just interesting, and for Kwara United, the draw at Lagos Salami Stadium on Sunday proved very vital for them. It's kept them above sea level a bit, but there's still a lot to do, and a lot of things will still go down before the end of the season.
All right, let's talk about Ikorodu City now looking like a team in fight. For you, I have, if my producer can just give me the picture where we have the 3 teams in fight, you look at, Rivers United picking up the victory, which we said on Friday that was supposed to be a victory for them. We were wondering, Rangers International, you said, the worst they can get in this game is a draw, and they did get a draw, which is still giving them a hope for till the final season.
Yes.
Ikorodu City picking up that victory has now propelled them to where they are right now on third position. We have Rivers United 58, we have Rangers International 56, and we have Ikorodu City 55.
Very exciting times right now. Rangers are 2 points off the top. They'll play at home in the next game, and the contrast from their last 2 away games, they lost the last 2 away games. Now they got a point away. That's very good for them. After that game, they'll play at home in the next fixture. Good one for them, a chance for them to get maximum points that will propel them into the title conversation, to the top of the league table as well again. Rivers United are top right now. They've been top the most this season, even with the game in hand, and with games in hand, their Confederations Cup tourney and all. They still maintain their fight for the title, so it's a good one for them. They are back at top now, 2 points ahead of their closest rival. And for Ikorodu City, who led the table at some point in the season, they are back in the conversation again. And it was a very commanding victory for them over the weekend, 3-0
against Kano Pillars.
Against Kano Pillars, perennial champions, a team that is battling relegation and that had a good run of form going into this fixture. A lot of teams would want to see Kano Pillars bring up a twist in the tail for them, but that didn't happen. Ikorodu City came out well, came in front and delivered the maximum points for the team. So, and that has pushed them into the conversation as well. 3 points off the top, 2 points behind Rangers International, and we'll see a photo finish at the end of the season.
All right, beautiful. For you watching us right now is end to the finish for you, and are you still picking Rivers United and you picking Rangers, or do you think Ikorodu City, can just muster a chance around the box and get, the MPFL title?
For me, I feel the best they will get is a continental ticket. There were some games they faltered last month. I think that will hamper their decisions, but it was a very good run for them. Last season they came close to securing the continental ticket, but they fell short a bit. Now they've tried again in their second season. They're having a field run right now. It's a good one for them and their fans. I'd like to see what they have in stock for us next season. All right,
beautiful. Let's move away from that. Let's talk the world of tennis quickly. As president of African Table Tennis Federation, Waheed Oshodi is confident that the continent can still produce a world champion within the next 5 years. As African players continue to close the gap on short sport leading nations, Oshodi, a former commissioner for youth and sport and social development in Lagos State, was elected the ATTF president at the body's 2024 annual general meeting right in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. He succeeded Khalid Sali, who has led the federation since 2010. He is also the executive vice president of the International Table Tennis Federation. Now, almost 2 years in his reign, Oshodi has continued to scale up African table tennis landscape despite challenges, and he believes that the continent stars can still claim the biggest title in the world. Nothing is impossible, he said, in the world table tennis, who have imagined a Brazil winning, Oshodi, and we want to believe that if there needs to be a change when it comes to sport in Nigeria, I think we need to change the arms of government, the system around it, for it to work. But it's coming out with a bold claim, saying that we can still raise continent champions. Do you agree with this statement from Oshodi?
Yes, I agree with him. Nothing is impossible. We need to put and set things in place. We've had this conversation time and time over again. Decades ago, the same thing is we can still produce the biggest stars or the biggest champions. Yes, the talent is there. We have loads of athletes that can represent us on the big stage, but are there measures or right things put in place to put these people to get the best out of them? Because we can't just wake up 2-3 weeks to a tournament or a meet and bring up players and say because they are talented and expect them to perform at their highest stages. These teams that win these competitions, like Brazil, that is in case now.
You mentioned,
they didn't start their preparations, or they didn't just go to the back room and bring our players 3 weeks or 2 weeks to the competition or 2 months to the competition and say, okay, you guys will be representing us at the
big stage,
big
yes,
stage, ITTF
yeah.
competition or World Cup, and say expect them to win. We need to create the right scenarios and bring top events to these athletes to enable them perform at the highest level, to give them sharp and consistent to be able to defeat world stars on the big stage. So good statement from him, but this time around we want to move away from just statements, affirmations, and bring out the real action, bring out a road plan, map out the athletes that are available now, the ones you want to join, the equipment, the investments, and the insurance that would enable these athletes give their all for the country and represent the green, white, green.
All right, we'll be hoping for the very best because, to be very honest, I think I'm tired of the name Aruna Quadri. We want more names to come up, when it comes to the world of tennis. We need to move quickly. Let's take stories from the world of athletics. We're watching a video this wonderful morning, and you were super excited that we have an 18-year-old, athlete, Goit, just broke the under-20 world record running to the space because he's going places. Do you agree with me? Because, if you can have the video for me, I'm wondering, at you run 19.67 in a 200-meter race. Fantastic, from this, young talent.
An absolutely blistering performance from him, and he's been touted to overtake Usain Bolt at some point.
Yeah.
When he competes in the next Olympics, he's going to be the same age Usain Bolt, right, with long legs, he's athletic, and funny story is how he didn't start as an athlete. He wanted to represent his team in a football match, and he was just scouted and brought into the athletics field, and at the end of the day, he showed what he can. He outpaced his opponent, and now he's representing his country on the big stage, and we are looking forward to what he has in store for us come with the Olympics and later in the year.
I was watching the race, for our viewers watching right now.
You would imagine how would this lanky guy just
like
blaze through everybody?
He just catch up immediately, and I'm wondering,
he ran
19.67.
He ran like he had nitro with him.
Honestly speaking, this is one, for you to watch and enjoy. Right there, the fantastic one, I would say. You're talking about what he wanted to become, maybe a footballer. Yes, and it just changed up.
The story was very funny. It was an high school meet for competitions. They had football, athletics, and one of the trainers just wanted him to fill in. He didn't even run with the normal athletic boots. He had to patch up with the boot he had, and he blazed through the race, surprised everyone. And subsequent times, he increased training. He cut away from football, focused on his career, on his athletics, and with improvements and all, he's breaking records and setting records. And the world is at his feet right now, and we expect loads and more from him.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, we'll be looking forward to Goit, to make more records. Right here, we'll be dropping more stories when it comes to the world of athletics, just for you. Now we need to move quickly, and let's give you an update from the Black Stars of Ghana's camp. As Carlos Aquinzero, the age of 73, appointed Ghana's coach for the 2026 World Cup. Ex-Madrid, Portugal, and Iran coach, qualified South Africa for 2022 World Cup, led Portugal to round of 16 in 2010 and managed Iran at the 2014-2018 tournament. He was also coaching, he had coaching roles in Egypt, Oman, Japan, and Qatar. He was also an assistant for Alex Ferguson. So he has such, stellar career. But do you think he's fit, to take the Black Stars of Ghana to the World Cup and also make them achieve? Now, it's one thing to take them to the World Cup, it's one thing for you to achieve. Yes,
he's a perennial manager at the World Cup. This is if he manages to take Ghana to the World Cup, this is going to be his 5th outing at the World Cup stage, and that's to show you over 20 years of excellence. He's been an assistant manager to Sir Alex Ferguson twice before he went to Real Madrid to be the head coach. They left Otoado.
Yes, Otoado. Yeah.
Yes, he's failed to qualify them for the AFCON competition twice now. But it was able
to. It's pouring on
form in the friendlies. That was what contributed to his sack, and they brought in their man now. We know in this part of the world, there's a little bit of, would I say, obsession, permit me if that is right, for foreign coaches to come coach the national team side. So it's happened for different sides, and maybe this will be a good one for the Black Stars. they will be hoping to have their favorite stars back, likes of Kudus,
Kudus,
Semenyo, and
Semenyo,
fit for the
yeah.
World Cup. So for this man, it looks like one that can handle the job. He's seasoned. He knows what he wants to do. He's been to, like I mentioned, 4 World Cup. This will be his 5th one. So he understands the terrain and looks like the man to take Ghana to the World Cup and see what they can perform.
Okay, beautiful. We hope that the Black Stars of Ghana can, maybe muster an achievement, just like the last time out in 2010.
I'm not in support of them. Anyways,
You definitely can't be in support of them because it's the battle of the Ghana Jollof and Nigeria Jollof. So I get what you're doing. Remember, your darling Super Eagles did not go to the World Cup.
So instead of supporting my...
So what would you rather support, Cape Verde?
Nah, nothing on the African continent is going to catch my support.
I love that. All right, let's move away from that. Let's talk about the Premier League. Yesterday's game for you, 24 days and not playing Premier League football, and Manchester United, were beaten by Leeds United away from home. A Leeds United which fighting for relegation. There you have it on the screen. Leeds United first league at Old Trafford since February 1981.
That's
now,
45 years
I saw a
ago.
post from Noah Okafor. Noah Okafor, that is a Nigerian. I'm sure you're going to be happy about this.
I'm not happy about it.
You're not happy again. Okay. I hope you find your happiness pretty soon. But Noah Okafor on his post said, Mom, I scored 2 goals at Old Trafford. What a way, to announce yourself, to Manchester United fans after 24 days. For you look at that game for Michael Carrick, there's been so much around that game, the referee decisions, but for you, did Manchester United have a game plan against a side like Leeds United who are also fighting relegation battle?
I don't think they started the game well, and I think, judging by what has happened, like you mentioned, they've not played a competitive match in 24 games. A lot happened in that time. Arsenal was chasing the quadruplets at that time. NASA had not gone to the moon. So a lot of things have happened, and I think that showed in the first half. They were a little bit slow to get to the passing relegation. If you are playing against teams like that, you need to be up on top of your game. There are slight chances or slight tackles that Manchester United players, I think, were a bit soft. If you want to play a team like that, it's the running. Every point matters. So teams like this, I have someone that will say they are Jagilegbo at the moment. So they want to eat you. They want to be physical. Lots of things happened in the first half that didn't go Manchester United, and I think part of what contributed to that was the selection from Michael Carrick. Yes, you didn't have a host of your players around, but
Kobe was not playing.
Kobe was not playing, and for me, I would always maintain Ugarte is not the guy to put in the midfield for any team in the Premier League that wants to achieve something.
Okay.
He's not that player. Yes, he had a good run with Uruguay in the last national break, but that's not the player that will propel your team forward. So there was a lapse in the midfield. Casemiro was a bit slow, and Bruno Fernandes was too deep for me, for a player that you'd like to put that will create chances for you. So that didn't go in Manchester United's favour in the first half, but in the second half, they were added another defeat from the referee's decision, which I feel has been inconsistent over time in the Premier League. So a lot of factors contributed to Manchester United's defeat yesterday, but they'll move on from that and look on to the next game.
All right, it's 17 assists for Bruno Fernandes this season, and also 7 added goals for Casemiro, the most in the Premier League this season. We need to move because of our time, and let's talk about the Champions League. Now, quickly, you can have the Champions League for you to predict and win. Atletico Madrid are going to welcome FC Barcelona right there at the Metropolitano Stadium. Also, we're going to have Liverpool welcome Paris Saint-Germain at Anfield tonight. So much respect, to Diego Jota and also Andres Silva. We saw PSG players paying respect right there. But quickly, let's talk about the game. Atletico Madrid against FC Barcelona. For you, what are expectations for this game? Diego Simeone had to rest his players, and right now he's saying he has so much to do to win. The players of FC Barcelona are also talking, saying we must win this game. We have it to win.
Yes, they have to win the game if they want to go to the next round. For Atletico, their approach tonight is going to play a very big role in what happens, because I know Simeone, I mentioned last week, even with the red card for Barcelona, he still was too ultra defensive for me. So he's leading 2-0 now. He's playing in front of his fans. Is he going to pull his hands off the handbrake and let his player loose? Attack these people. They are the ones looking for goals. They will come at you. So you have to give your attackers the chance to express themselves on the other part of and naturally Barcelona are eye-line side under Hansi Flick. So you have the chance to pull in your wingers and your wide players to try and exploit the spaces that will be led by the Barcelona defense. Is that going to work in their favor? Yeah, very big question, but I would like to see what happens between Atletico Madrid and PSG tonight.
All right, your predictions for Liverpool and Paris Saint-Germain?
Exciting one as well. That is hanging on the balance because it's at the Anfield. You can't just erase that. But there's a little bit of shaky courage from PSG.
Yeah, from PSG. Yeah.
They don't play exactly well away from home. Will Liverpool bank on that and get the victory? Very big question, but I just want to see an exciting football match tonight.
All right, I'm going to say it boldly to wrap up the show that Liverpool are going to qualify against Paris Saint-Germain.
I'll hold it to your words.
Yeah, definitely you're going to hold me to my word. Liverpool are going to qualify, and also Atletico Madrid are going to see it through against FC Barcelona.
It's the fifth time Liverpool will be hosting the winners of the Champions League, and in the last 4 times they've managed to overturn a 2-0 deficit from the first leg. So there may be something to your start.
Honestly, I'll be here tomorrow to celebrate the victory for Liverpool fans. But
then
you can also
we'll code name your octopus to
Why don't I just drop that in the prediction? Your prediction, in the comment section ahead of the game. Atletico Madrid against FC Barcelona. We have Liverpool against Paris Saint-Germain. You stand a chance to win something on the show. That's all we can take this wonderful morning right here on Dominion Sport. We're going to see you again tomorrow to talk extensively on all the major leagues across the world and also give you a recap of the game that went down in the Champions League and also the games to look forward to in the Champions League tomorrow. Please stay with us.